Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And help me welcome Gary and
Top billing.
and David.
Hello. You really do have the top billing. You're above me.
I am.
And Twin Tarot. So, yeah, here we are. Welcome to Taco Tuesdays. And we have lots to talk about.
Oh, so, boy, we do.
Yes. Oh, yes. So, hey, first and foremost, what's happening? Anything interesting going on your Tarot by the Bay, David, over the next little while that folks need to pay attention to?
Nothing but the same old, same old. I've got no other collabs that are coming up. I still have to go through about 600 comments from the Supreme Court ruling.
Yes.
Guess what? People might have opinions.
Yeah, they have a lot to say about that, don't they?
Yeah, they sure do. So I got my work cut out for me, and I still haven't even done my videos for tonight. Tonight's videos, I'll definitely be doing one for Tarot of the Seven Seas because we do have the July 4th elections in England, and I do want to read on those to see how well the Labour Party is going to do over there. At least somewhere the non-far right parties are doing better. But yeah. Then I've got to figure out what I'm reading on tonight, which I imagine will be somewhere between Rudy Giuliani being disbarred in New York and the case being delayed, the sentencing being delayed in New York.
Yeah, exactly. So for those folks who have joined us, thank you for being here. And a lot of you are from David's channel and Gary's channel. So you're welcome here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I think I am, at this point, I'm like 5 away from 3,000.
Oh, geez. Yeah, so go take some time and go subscribe to Marina's channel. It costs you nothing.
Yeah, get me over the hump.
Create some new YouTube accounts just to go subscribe.
Yes.
I mean, I've got what, 3 channels that I've got.
Yeah, come on. Pop a couple up, David.
I mean, my mom's opening up several channels a day to bump up Gary and my numbers.
All right, thanks, Mom.
Exactly. Just look for the wooden spoon icon as her picture.
So Marina, we do have some news for the Twin Tarot channels. We're going to have our first planned live stream tomorrow.
Nice.
We had an impromptu one last week that was just stupidly successful. So we thought, hey, maybe this is something we should try. Imagine what we could do if we actually let people know we were doing it. So
yeah, and you know what? By having it happen the way that it did, it took all the pressure off of you in terms of the initial. Oh, I have to press the button. Oh, now what do I do? Right? Because you were in the groove without realizing you were in the groove.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Dave was just like, "Hey, there's like 17 comments out there in the comment section. Let's go live." Okay, that was our prep.
Pretty much, yeah. For those who missed it, literally, I was showing Gary around StreamYard, and I'm a guest on Marina's show, and I don't always see all the host features that are on there. And so I was showing Gary, like, well, here's what you see, here's what I see, sort of talking him through it. And I just happened to look in the comments. There's a little chat box on the right. And it says comments on it. It's like there's a 17 in brackets. Like, why are there comments? And I'm looking at the time. It's like, oh my God, there's people actually like waiting for us to go live. And Gary's like, well, do you want to go live? Yeah, why not? What the hell? So we went live, and just winged it.
Did we do an hour or an hour and a half? It was
Hour and a half.
hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
Just riffing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect.
How we make our videos. So,
Yeah.
so we're going to do that tomorrow. What time do you want to do that tomorrow, Dave?
Oh, I don't know. What time are you available after work? What works for you?
I'd say
I'm off this week.
anytime after 6.
Okay. So you want to schedule it for 6?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Hey, you guys were there when we did it. Now everyone knows.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So I just want to remind everyone again, don't forget to go over to Gary at Twin Tarot and David at Tarot by the Bay. If you are not subscribed to them already, please do so, because you'll be greatly entertained. I promise you. And just want to remind everyone that my changing the track class is on Sunday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's a 2-hour class, and basically what the class is designed to do is to help you recognize the default thoughts that happen in your brain in pretty much any situation that may no longer be serving you. Things that you heard when you were very young, or things that you were told you were that no longer resonate with you, and now you need to change the track. So that's what that course is about. There's also intuition or ego on Sunday as well. That is about an hour and a half class. And if you'd like more information on those, please go to my website. It's marinasheartcenteredtarot.com. Did I hold it up for you so you can see? There you go. Yeah. So that is that. And I will be tomorrow is Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. I'll also be doing blind spot readings with Gerald and Hershey. And then Thursday is just messages for light workers, because Thursday is your July 4th. So, most of you want to take the day off and you want to celebrate, and I don't blame you. Yeah. You need to make a lot of noise this year, because it could be the last time that you do it.
Gosh.
Not to make you feel bad, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, last time we're in the United States for July 4th. Canada's looking so nice these days.
Yeah, I already have a list, and there's already a few people on the list who have reached out and said, if I need to move to Canada real fast, can I put you down as a reference? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's just kind of get right to what everyone wants to know. The Supreme Court did the dumbest thing, entertainment purposes only, YouTube, what do I know? The dumbest thing that they could have done, and they said, oh, guess what? Trump is a king.
Yeah.
Knowing full
presidents are kings, but they framed it after Trump's likeness.
Yes. Yeah, because I think they realize full well that Biden has too much integrity to ever pull a tenth of the horseshit that. Yeah, exactly.
On the nose.
Yeah. He would never do that. I wish that he would scare the shit out of them and go, oh, yeah, by the way, those November elections, November doesn't work for me. I'm thinking maybe February. Yeah. Oh, Jason Smith said I have 3,000 now. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. Okay, now everybody unsubscribe, and so we can hear 3,000 several times today.
Don't toy with her like that.
There are times that I've hit like 2,000, and then I was at 1999. Damn it, somebody unsubscribed.
I know. Who are you? Who are
Exactly.
you?
So I try not to celebrate those milestones until like the day after, when I'm about 20 past it.
Yeah. Yes, Sherry Freebury. I am Canadian. I am in Alberta. I'm in Calgary. And where are you? Okay, so the Supreme Court did something really, really stupid. And the big thing now is that Trump's lawyers are arguing that the 34 charges against him should now be absolutely dropped because he's got immunity. And one of the things that we were discussing backstage was, yeah, but what he did was he did something that affected the 2016 election, so that the hush money and all that kind of stuff happened before he was president. So, is it? I don't know how they're going to go around this one. So, what's your feeling on this?
Do you want to throw cards on that, or just
Yeah.
Throw cards? Okay.
Well, let's throw a couple cards and then we can talk about it because like
let's look at the energy around so there's been a delay in the sentencing of the New York criminal trial.
Yes.
Because of Trump wants to argue presidential immunity. Alvin Bragg said that's fine. It's been rescheduled for September 11th, Gary? 18th. At issue is that there was testimony from folks like Hope Hicks that testified while Trump was president, as well as like he wrote some of the checks to Michael Cohen while he was in the Oval Office. That being said, it looks like the crime was hatched well before Trump was president. So the argument's going to have to be something like, well, if you discounted Hope Hicks and stuff, would it really make a difference in the verdict? So let's look at that energy, see if anything is going to change, if they have to have another trial, or if they can ignore that and go to the sentencing. If they drop some of the charges, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The Fool card, new beginning. I think they're going to have another trial. They would have to have another trial if you can't separate out testimony from somebody who is this. This would be cause for an appeal for another trial. I think, kind of like what do they call? Now I'm forgetting the term. When somebody says something and the judge, you can't put the cork back in the bottle for the genie. If Trump had picked up a chair and thrown it at the jury, they would have had declared a mistrial right there. Yeah. This could be something that leads to that type of event. This is crossed by the King of Wands. Okay, so this is nice actually. So this is Trump wanting a new trial. Here we go. Trump wants a new trial. Alvin Bragg is going to fight this thing. It's like you have to get through Alvin Bragg first. And underneath it all is the Queen of Swords. And this is like Judge Merchan. The letter of the law. You got Judge Merchan and Alvin Bragg versus Donald Trump wanting this trial. So it's going to be a very black and white legal situation that they're going to be doing, ruling on. In the past, Three of Wands, perfect. Guess what we were waiting for? We were waiting for our ship to come in because Donald Trump was going to go up the river because he was going to be some prison time in his future. Now that's in the past. We're going to have to wait on this. We're waiting for this September 8th hearing to come up. Current situation around the September 8th hearing is the Page of Pentacles. We have new evidence. Look at this new evidence I'm bringing. It's so shiny. You should take a look at this new evidence. Maybe Trump has to give back all the money that he fundraised off of going to prison because he's not going to prison anymore. Overarching energy is the Six of Cups. Nostalgia or naivety. Once upon a time, we had a functioning legal system, or mostly functioning legal system in this country. Some marginalized groups would probably discuss that, debate that it was never really working well for them. But for the rest of us, we get to see it here. And also, it's kind of the sweetheart treatment that Trump gets by the legal system here. And now he's getting even more sweetheart treatment that the Supreme Court handed to him. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Cups. It's now emotionally charged. There's a new relationship, a new dynamic that's been brought in. Basically, the Supreme Court has handed this gift to Donald Trump, and it impacts his court case. How will it come out? Ten of Wands. It's the burden. Well, the burden is usually it's the end of all the actions. I'm not sure how to go with that because it could say, no, the case is over. It's been decided, and you can try for this. Or this could be that, now we got to go through. To me, we have to go through this all over again. Between the Fool card and that, let me throw a qualifier on it. Ace of Pentacles, a big gift. Again, just like that Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. You got a big gift. And here's the thing. You got the hedge. If you don't learn your lesson, you have a do-over. So I suspect the New York, as the energy looks now, as I'm washed out, as the energy looks now, as I read this, I think there's going to be a do-over. Or certainly there's going to be a strong push for a do-over on this issue.
So Dave, when you were throwing those, I was basically with you. I had a couple different interpretations. I know you put the cards back.
I'm outraged.
But what I saw was, to me, the Fool was really, we're starting a new journey. And because we're in uncharted waters as it is, right?
Exactly.
Trump is just constantly putting us in uncharted waters. And I agree with the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. It's just, that's basically your prosecutor and your judge saying, okay, well, in our minds, nothing's changed. We know what happened and we know how it happened. Yeah. And then the Three of Wands might have been Trump, waiting for that Supreme Court immunity ruling coming in. The Page of Pentacles is, guess what? He got this shiny gift from the Supreme Court. And I forgot what you threw after that. But basically after that, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like, okay, now we've got to kind of rethink this whole thing. That whole Ace of Cups, we've got a whole new set of emotions that we're all feeling. That I'm just kind of wondering what Judge Merchan's thinking about this whole thing. I mean, he wasn't happy with Trump to begin with, and now he's seeing this absolute nonsense that the Supreme Court has allowed him to get away with. Yes. And I just, he's a better man than I, Gunga Din. I just kind of wonders if he's going to be able to keep that poker face exterior, but inside, he's just absolutely seething.
Exactly.
So it just,
exactly.
We'll see what happens out of that.
I too got the King of Wands. I also got the two of Swords, and this is making a decision, looking at what needs to be done. I get the Eight of Pentacles in terms of taking a look at what you have, right? Going over what you have, and kind of sussing out where things are. I then come in with the King of Cups and the Strength card. And what I'm getting from this is just, steady the course. This is, there's going to be much smarter brains than mine who are going to figure out the best way to handle this situation. Could it be a new trial? Yes, it could. And you know what? Maybe there are things that weren't allowed in the first trial that might be allowed in the second trial that could be even worse for, Herr Trump. So I think, the decision-making process is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but there's, I think that ultimately it feels like it's better. It feels like this has happened for a reason. So
Well, there's definitely a silver lining on this one, which is
Yes.
if between Biden's performance in the debate and the SCOTUS determination on immunity, I think you have completely not only galvanized the Democrats around Biden, but now you've got a whole bunch of conservative Republicans and independents who may have been on the fence after the debate are now thinking, dear God in heaven, who do I want to have this kind of authority and the nuclear codes?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I think, I think that it does, ultimately, it does work out better. And as you know, as I said backstage, having the sentencing now on September the 18th. First of all, the 18th is it's 10 days or 8 days, sorry, after the second debate, which for now is scheduled for September the 10th. I think Biden is going to do a lot better because they're going to let Biden be Biden. And he's just, I could see him putting on the shades and going, all right, bro, bring it on. So
I laugh only because it's like, well, how could he do worse, man?
That was
coming horizontal holding a calla lily is about the only way you could do worse.
Yeah. So, and not only that, but on sentencing in July, it would give people enough time to kind of sweep it under the rug to have all kinds of excuses, but on and on and on. People would forget. Having it in September, which is not that far before the election, people are not going to be able to forget quite that easily. So it puts Trump back in the limelight again about felonies and doing unethical things and whatnot. And that comes right around to what you said, Gary, is who do you want to have that kind of power? Do you want someone like Biden, who isn't going to take advantage of the situation, versus someone like Trump, who's saying, oh, my pretty,
Yeah, he doesn't have to be a dictator just on day one.
Yes, exactly.
It made him a king before.
Yes, totally. Yeah. So, he can walk around and look at people and go, off with his head, off with his head. So what kind of an effect now will the Supreme Court decision have on Judge Tanya Chutkan's case? That's a January 6th case.
Okay.
What are we feeling? Yes, Songson, and the Epstein info on Trump. Yes.
Just a quick question. Which was the case? I wanted to ask this before we came on because I haven't been able to find it. Which was the case where Trump tried to argue presidential immunity and they said, you should have made that argument 2 years ago. No, we're not.
New York criminal trial.
Which one?
The New York criminal trial.
Okay.
Yeah, his John Blanche came up with this one like 3 weeks before the trial, and Judge Merchan just like, no, this is something you should have done months ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you are. I mean, that may be as far as it gets with Merchan. I mean, yeah, you're going to listen to everything. But at the end of the day, that wasn't even a defense that was even offered in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Well, Judge Merchan's going to have to rule on, again, testimony of people that provided evidence, and the evidence that was provided, is that going to substantively impact the way the jury would have ruled?
Yeah.
And obviously Trump could appeal that, and that could go up to the appellate court, and then they would decide what. Basically, this thing is going to go. Merchan's going to rule on it, and it's going to go to the appellate court.
Oh, yeah, totally. That was always the case, unless Trump was found not guilty, right?
All right, let's look at Judge Chutkan here while Sherry tells us that AOC is moving to start an impeachment process on the 6 SCOTUS members. Now, as I get ready to do that, just want to throw out there, it seemed that Judge Amy Coney Barrett was having a mild moment of morality, but she still voted for this. So, in the end of the day, I don't care how conflicted you were, we know how you voted. Judge
Yeah.
Chutkin, what do we got?
Yeah.
Judge Chutkin, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we're going to move forward with the evidence. Her case now moves forward. And we have to evaluate the evidence now because now we have this new ruling that provides, is something a presidential act or an official presidential act? Now we have to decide, all these things all these crimes that were committed, we have to sort out which ones are crimes and which ones are not crimes. And underneath is the death card. The death card doesn't mean this case comes to an end. It means we have a whole new chapter to this case, and that makes sense because now we have to go back. You have to go back 3 spaces and figure out. Okay, now we have this indictment with all these different things. In this indictment, we have a new chapter. We now have to go through this indictment for this new Supreme Court ruling and figure out what evidence and what charges stay and what stuff has to go away because the way the Supreme Court just gifted Donald Trump. In the past, we got the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, they had everything. they had this case done. It was lock, stock, and barrel. This thing was going to be a slam dunk because they could present all the evidence that was there. Now, the current situation is we got all these pentacles here. I wonder how much money the Supreme Court made off of this ruling. Current situation is, now we have to decide which pieces of evidence are still applicable in her case. Obviously, Trump's going to want everything thrown out. Judge Chutkin's not going to buy into that. So now everything needs to be presented. And in some ways, Judge Chutkin's like this King of Pentacles. She's going to sit there as the King of Pentacles and decide what is authentic, what can be indicted and what cannot be indicted. Overarching energy. There's that Ace of Cups card. I think that's going to be my gift. This is the Supreme Court's gift to Donald Trump. It's doing a friend a big favor, and then I had that Ace of Pentacles. Your big favor were these pentacles here. Over it all, again, and you can imagine this summer and fall are going to be so emotionally charged with everything. But yeah, this gift, this last minute gift given to Trump throws everything in the works. Lesson to be learned, though, is the Ace of Swords. Justice will prevail, and it's because you've got Judge Chutkin on this. And she is a monster as far as she's very smart. She's very matter of fact. And guess who was the person that said, presidents are not kings and you are not the president? That was Tanya Chutkin who said that. And now the Supreme Court basically came back and said, no, they are kings. Well, guess what? Judge Chutkin has the law on her side, and there's a king's crown on the top there. I love Judge Chutkin. She's going to figure out a way around this. Outcome is going to be the emperor. Trump is not going to get away with this. He is not going to be the emperor on it. Judge Chutkin is going to have her way. The general gist folks have seen with this, as I wash out here, is that there will be an evidentiary hearing. There will not be a jury for it. And this is just present the data and I will rule on it. I am hoping it's televised because then it's basically the January 6th trial without it being a trial.
Exactly.
So if there's like some rule, like federal court says you can't have cameras in a federal case because of jury or something like that. Well, now the jury's not there. Exactly. Maybe this will be the exception. Maybe Biden can make a presidential, an immune presidential ruling on it saying that absolutely they can do that. Yeah. Over to you, Gary.
The last 2 cards I get very nervous about because when we have the 10 of Pentacles, that always seems to be a Trump type of a card, right? Like the whole Trump family and all the money flowing in.
Yeah.
It's the last 2, the Sword of Justice and the Emperor, because it's the beginnings, right? The aces are new beginnings, and we have to take a look at this basically from scratch again. And Trump sometimes comes up as that Emperor card, and I just get nervous. I know what I want it to mean, but I'm trying to be as open-minded as I can because it's just how you interpret those cards. I want you to be right.
Yeah. If I were, and it was funny. I was watching. I don't know if folks caught the Kim and Andre Intuit View uh, thing that she did today, and she was
No.
commenting that sometimes she sees events, but because she's a good-hearted person, she looks for the happy, optimistic reading in it, and it's hard for her to get into the mud and read the crappy one. Because you're right, it could very well be that it's a new day, kings. We've got kings in the United States, and here's your new emperor.
Yep. Yeah,
And he's not going to be held accountable because he was a king at that time. That is entirely possible. That being said, I think I'm on record saying this about a gazillion times. I never thought that we would see Trump in prison prior to the election because of all the delays and things along those lines, especially now with the Supreme Court doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Knowing you could grant Donald Trump immunity to everything that he's done, absolute immunity to everything he's done. What needs to be out there is the information of what he did so that the voters can make an informed decision who they want as president. And the Supreme Court maybe gave us a gift, as you guys were talking earlier. Who do you want in charge of this country? Who do you want? Who do you think is going to rule like a president? Who do you think is going to rule like an emperor? Do you want your democracy? It's a pretty stark choice.
And to your point, that's why you want that court televised, because in the civil case in the criminal case in New York, they had the one juror that got all his information from the Truth Social echo chamber.
Yeah.
And once you took him out of that echo chamber and laid out all the facts bare, he voted guilty. And I think that's kind of the same thing. If you televise the court proceedings and everyone gets the same information that's not in their echo chamber, then people can make an informed choice instead of an influenced choice. I mean, you can say what you want about Trump, but he wasn't completely wrong about fake news.
Yeah.
The news has historically been left-leaning. Our dad was thrilled when Fox News came about because finally news that told the truth. Yes. And it wasn't news that told the truth; it just told his truth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
he found his echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just gone further and further to the right from there. So just having it, having it in a courtroom, almost like having it as Reuters or A&P, Associated Press news, where it's just the facts man. There's going to be some emotion, sure, on both sides, but it's basically, here are the facts. And then, you need to decide. All the audience is the jurors, and they have to decide.
Yeah, absolutely. I pulled a couple cards.
Yeah, what did you get, Marina?
Yeah, I got the Two of Wands, and that's they put this out there, and we're kind of waiting for it to take root, right? The idea that Trump has immunity. You can't get him on anything because he's immune, whatnot. Yes, they put it out there. They're waiting for good things to come in. What came in, however, was the hangman in that people looked at kind of the situation that Trump found himself in and went, wait a minute, I hadn't thought of that. What about this? What about it's making people think. It's making them review what it is that they have been like the lovers, what it is that they're wedded to, what it is that they have believed, and they have sworn their allegiance to that belief. And now they're having to kind of take another look at it. And Five of Cups, a lot of them are going to walk away. A lot of them are going to say, no, you know what? That's no. I can't buy into that. What I have for the outcome is the Ten of Pentacles. And I think that the Supreme Court did do everyone a favor, I think, in a way, in doing it the way that they did, is they're going to give people enough time to think about the repercussions of that decision. And people are going to start to wonder. They're really going to.
unintended consequences
Yes.
of their ruling.
Yes. Yeah. No. I know that's what we said, but what we meant was no.
Yeah, exactly. But that's no offense, Gary, but that's exactly what the frickin' Republicans have been doing for the last several years. They want to change the rules the minute that somebody takes their rules and uses it against them.
Well, they're pretty good at gaslighting.
Yeah, you think?
Yes.
We're not going to get rid of Roe v. Wade. No. Yeah. That's case law. That's historic. And then the first chance they get, out it goes. Right?
And now they're showing all the confirmation hearings. The rule of law is the most important thing in the United States, and nobody's above the law. Well, apparently they changed their mind. They can just change their mind like that.
And this is now. God,
yeah.
Just get over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally.
You believed me when my mouth was moving?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I can't believe this. Here's kind of a hypothetical. Okay. If as a result of the SCOTUS decision and whatnot, if there was civil unrest due to that decision, could Biden declare a state of emergency and postpone the November election?
Only if Mike Lindell is in the White House walking out with his martial law and funny. I literally did a reading on that one, a week ago? And I did a Mike Lindell reading and a Kash Patel reading because he was walking out with papers and the photographers blew it up. And it says something like, declare martial law, Kash Patel is acting deputy of CIA or something like that. and they highlighted it in red so that people could see this is what they were discussing. This is what they were trying to do. Let's see. Well, Biden... let me throw on this one. So the question is, will Biden potentially...
if there is civil unrest, could Biden declare a state of emergency and postpone the November election?
It's possible. I'm only going to do a 4-quarter on this one because the nature of it doesn't really warrant much longer than that. The answer to that is, you got to keep trying. That it'd be well down his list of things to do. That doesn't mean he wouldn't do it. It's just, it's not his first choice, second choice, or third choice. And the fourth choice ain't looking so good either.
Yeah.
6 of Swords. Let's see. 4 of Swords and 2 of Swords. Look at all these swords cards.
That's not surprising. The devil. Swords cards and the devil. Ding.
And the devil.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Yeah. My thought is.
Thank you for playing the home game with us.
Exactly. He wouldn't want to do it. There's no good reason to pause it, and likely just simply because things will be calmed down at that point. But he has the ability to make that decision if he wants to. But if he did it, he's basically going down the road of a tyrant. If he does, Trump would do it in a second, and he's not Trump. He's more contemplative. I think what it is Biden thinks about things and how it looks and how it plays on there. And honestly, the biggest decision. This is probably one of his biggest fears. This is the thing that keeps him up at night, amongst everything else that keeps him up at night. What if Trump wins? Let's say Trump wins the election. What does he do? Because he knows what that means for the country. Does he have the peaceful transfer of power like everybody else and hold your breath and hope for the best? And honestly, I think that's exactly what he would do. Just like when he went out there and announced that he's not going to be a dictator, he's going to act presidential, he doesn't need all this immunity stuff, and told people, folks, this is the election now. Who do you want in charge? He would. I don't think he would call martial law, and I don't think he would delay the election.
Yeah, I'd agree that, especially with the last card with the double card, because it's like, well, yeah, I have that option, the 4 of Cups, I have that option in front of me, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if I exercise that, I'm no better than the man I'm telling you not to vote for.
Exactly.
Exactly. I got Justice card, which is yeah, he would look at the legality of it. He would look at the long-term effects of it. And and then the Tower card, he wouldn't go down that road. He absolutely wouldn't. He doesn't have it in him to to just be that that negative, or that's not the word that I want, but it's not coming to me. He's too moral of a person to go down that road. So, and I wish maybe he should, loosen up a little bit on that morality. I don't know. Come on. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. What Diana Hill says, MSNBC, Raskin said there is a lot of discussion happening very quickly about Biden's future. Biden's future is very secure. Biden isn't going anywhere. Okay, that he might get advice on how to handle things and whatnot, but yeah, Biden is going to be on the ticket. Kamala Harris is going to be on the ticket. That's not going to change. What is going to change is that the people who were sitting on the sidelines and maybe undecided now see what is at stake and are now going over to Biden's side. That's what's happening. So, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. As grumpy as I've been for the last week with the performances and my anger and outrage with it, I've never not wanted to vote for Biden this upcoming election.
Yeah, look at your options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they're, I did hear that I did read and did a reading out the other day that his family they went to Camp David this weekend and they were livid with his prep, the guys that prepped him for this debate, and they wanted those folks fired because again, they had him studying for an algebra test and it was a history exam that he had to go against, and he was not prepared for what he was facing, and his handlers they need to be ready for all eventualities, including that one. Gary's solution was have him speak in general successes, then go after Trump for the lies. Regardless, I'm more upset. Again, I'm more upset about the prep team. I'm more upset about the only thing for Biden I'm upset about is his energy level. Now he can be forgiving because he's sick and he had a big schedule and stuff like that. But at the same time, his handler should also know that you got an 81-year-old dude going across time zones and maybe isn't feeling well, and you need to let him get his energy back. That's you have to read the person. I have no doubt Biden will do better on the next thing. If nothing else, even after the debate when he went to the diner and said, "How do you fight somebody who lies all the time?"
Exactly.
And his rally the next day, that he was Joe. Now, is he reading off a teleprompter? Sure, but reading off a teleprompter doesn't give you that confidence and that personality that allows him to connect with the audience. And I think Biden learned a valuable lesson on this, and that's don't F these guys. If I'm going to lose, let me lose being me as opposed to me being something I'm not. And I think that will be the biggest difference in this upcoming debate.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely. And Packard, one bad debate does not a president break.
Yeah. And removing Biden at this point would create so much chaos in the Democratic Party that it's not worth it. You're handing the election to Trump if you do that.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
That's why the
That's what-
GOP is encouraging that. Oh,
Yeah.
we're on board with some of our Democratic friends who think that Joe Biden is too old. And yeah, absolutely.
They absolutely do not want Biden facing off with Trump. Biden's already smacked his bottom once.
Yeah.
And that was before Jan 6th and all the nonsense around the fake electors and all the other grifting that's been coming out since. I mean, and then you look at the Supreme Court ruling, it absolutely Trump is just a raging dumpster fire. And the only ones that think it's great are the MAGA folks warming their hands by it.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Alrighty. So in other news today that might have, maybe it just kind of went over everybody's heads or it wasn't that important to mention. But yeah, our friend Rudy Giuliani lost his law license.
Oh,
I know.
Tiniest violin.
How is he going to support himself now? How is he going to come up with the money to pay those judgments against him if he can't work?
He's been he's had his license suspended for a while now. Oh God, he can't even defend himself. Well, I guess he could defend himself. He just won't be a lawyer as he does it. Okay, what's the impact of Rudy losing his law license? I think, my intuition tells me this is purely humiliation at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, finances be damned. This is just the humiliation aspect of it.
Are we going to see a lot of swords, Dave?
You might see swords or you might see cups. Who here is familiar with the GIF, the GIF from I believe it's from Game of Thrones, with that bastard of a woman ringing the bell saying, "Shame, shame, shame." Rudy's going to have to be naked walking through the streets of New York while this lady is ringing the bell in front of him. I think that's the stage we're at. Hey, Rudy's a working guy. You can't take away my law license. I'm a working man. Crossed with, not anymore, you're not. Yeah, he made a bunch of money, and now he's got no money.
No money? None. Gone.
And and there's your cups. Yeah, it's the end. Rudy's sun has set.
Yes.
His best days are behind him at this point. In the past, look at all the money cards, Garv. He made his money. He had this great reputation, America's mayor. He just everything Trump touches dies, and Rudy flushed his entire reputation down the toilet, hanging out with Trump. They disbarred him. What's the current state? His star has fallen. His star has fallen to rock bottom. He's no longer America's mayor. His reputation is trash. He can't work as a lawyer anymore. So what does he do? He has to rely on friends. Don't be surprised if you find him sleeping on couches. Now he's got a podcast that they send money to some shell company. He's trying to circumvent having to pay Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss off amongst his other creditors. But I think these are the creditors coming in saying, or him going to the creditors saying, "Oh, I can't pay you. I've got no money. See?" He's been disbarred. Lesson to be learned, as page wants. Yeah, he's going to have to figure something out. He's got a whole new path in front of him. People are not going to return Rudy's calls. He's going to be persona non grata. Basically, he's a drunk 80-year-old former lawyer who's broke. That does not exactly bode well for one's social calendar.
No.
Out comes the Ace of Swords. This is what you get. He went on a grand adventure with Trump. Trump was a false friend. He went on that adventure with him, and he was foolish to do what he did. He flushed everything he had on a gamble to make more money. Ace of Swords. Now, that being said, I hope it was worth the $1 million a pardon deal that you had going on with Trump there, because guess what? Presidential pardons are a constitutional right of the president. Therefore, he has complete and utter immunity for any actions. So if he wants to sell pardons at $10 million a pop, he certainly can, and you can't criminally charge him with it because he's immune to that.
Apparently.
Because that makes sense.
Perfectly.
Yes. That's what would happen.
So yeah, Rudy has no friends. They're all going to abandon him, and he's done it to himself. What a foolish old man. Foolish old man.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I start off with the high priestess. That he had a lot of good things in front of him. He had the ability to make choices that would not have impacted him the way that they did. Excuse me. And he knew exactly what he was getting into.
Damn.
And just thought that this is going to be okay. What he encountered was the moon with the crazy thinking and the let's do this and let's do that, and you know what, after this we'll figure this out. And I too get the Five of Pentacles. That you're out in the cold. You, like Autumn says, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? This is the end of his world, right? It really isn't a whole lot that he can do from here, except maybe plead that I'm a senile old man and I don't know what I was doing, and even that isn't going to help him. He made a deal with the devil, and he thought that he was smarter than the devil, and that's not the case. You can't do that. Yes, Pam Forrest, stupid is as stupid does. Yeah, absolutely. All righty. Let's end on something fun. So,
actually, your idea actually flew by on the comments too, I believe.
Yeah. Stevie Three Shirts finally spent his first night in jail. How did that go for him?
Yeah. There you go, Isadora.
First night? Did he get
what was it? Was it the... Was it Shawshank Redemption? I think it was Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Fresh Fish.
Yeah. But is that the one where the guy's like, I shouldn't be here, and he...
Yeah, yes it is.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's...
Did you know the guard in that did the beating on him? He's the voice of Mr. Krabs.
Did not know that.
Yes, he is. In fact, Jack and I saw it at the Turner Classic Movie Film Festival down in Hollywood, and Jack was the one that pointed out to me. He goes, "Hey, that's the guy who does Mr. Krabs' voice." I didn't know that. But sure enough, I looked it up later. It's like, it's the same actor.
Okay, we'll go 4 Carter for Stevie Three Shirts there. How's he enjoying his new lifestyle?
Oh God, there's a Trump card.
I don't even know if I have to throw a second one. It's like, welcome to your own personal hell. I wonder if they took a fire hose and deloused him before going in there.
Why not?
I'm sure he had a cavity check done too. He's not used to this. He's this arrogant he's always been above things, and now he's a common criminal in a low security prison. Not a minimal one, a low security prison. So it's a step up. He doesn't get to sleep in a pod. He has to sleep in a cell. His star is falling too. He's already, he's already got the chalk mark. He's got one chalk mark on the wall for his first day. But here's the other thing. This, I'll throw the last card here too. He's not out of the woods at all. And here we got the Wheel of Fortune to just back it up. He is now living his best life here, and there's more to come. And that's where I was going to go with the Two of Wands. This isn't over with yet because he's got his star has fallen. Justice is here, and they're going to keep coming after him. I don't think he's going to be harmed in prison. you know, they'll keep an eye on him. It's a low security prison. You're not talking really necessarily horrible people in there, but it's still not minimum. It's a low security prison. With Bannon, remember he's got he was going to be convicted of defrauding people for the We Build the Wall scheme,
Yes.
and Trump federally pardoned him. So New York followed up with a state charge on that same thing, and Trump can't pardon him for that one. And nobody can pardon him for that one. The governor can grant him clemency, I suppose. And that was going to be under Judge Merchan. That was going to start in May, and that got pushed to September.
Yeah.
He's going to be he's in prison now. He's going to be in prison until November, till like basically the end of October. He'll be out of prison 2 days before the election. And then you've got the whole January 6th thing. And his role in that's going to be out there. And I don't think he's an unindicted co-conspirator of the 6 unindicted co-conspirators. He might be. But if he's not one of the 6 unindicted ones, he'll be on that next wave. So he's got this case. He's got the New York State case coming up, and then he's going to have the January 6th case. So it's almost going to be like he gets out of prison to only go back to prison again, gets out of prison to go back to prison again. So he's going to be spending time in the pokey.
Yes. Yeah. It's not going to. It's not going to
round and round.
Yeah, you know what? I get the 7 of Swords, and when I saw this, I thought, yeah, okay, that's exactly what he's doing. Is he's walking with his hands behind him, guarding his you know what, and just walking in circles, like making sure where everybody is. He did not have a good night, and part of what made it so unpleasant is knowing how many people were celebrating the fact that he's in jail.
Yeah.
There was, there's a lot of people who were quite happy to see him go there. And he's having to defend himself. He's feeling the loss of all the things that he's not going to be able to do, in that now he's not going to be able to get on his podcast and be telling people what to do and so on. Yeah, he is. In fact, you know what? I think that he's looking back and wishing that he had not fought so hard with the appeals, so that he could have maybe done his time earlier and be ready for the election. Now he's basically out of it.
And if he has any addictions, like alcohol, for instance,
yeah.
Now I think that I just put my finger up. It's like, oh my God, duh. If he's an alcoholic, and he certainly looks like an alcoholic, unshaven, unkempt, and just generally looks worn down. Yeah, good luck getting alcohol in prison. That doesn't mean people can't sneak it in, but not to the level that he requires to maintain, if he's an alcoholic, entertainment purposes only. And that could be the demon that he has to fight the next 4 months. Can you imagine?
Yes. Exactly.
No? Yeah, toilet wine. Well, there's they've got they've got drugs they can give him while he's there to help him deal with alcoholism and lack of alcohol withdrawals and such things that.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be the first.
No, you wouldn't. But yeah, so much for his first night. Oh, poor guy.
That's all right.
I hope he has a chance to have a shower, and maybe they'll give him a haircut. And
is it 3 months or 4 months?
4 months.
Okay, he's got 119 more to go. He's practically
there. You go. Yeah, and I think that they, I don't know that they can order from the commissary anytime they want. I think that it's like once a week or once every 2 weeks, maybe even once a month. And depending on where he falls in that cycle, it could be quite some time before he has access to to anything that might prove useful to someone in there that he could trade. So, yeah. Poor Stevie Three Shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
I know, me too.
Tears your heart apart. That one was purely for Gary, and he knows the reference.
No. That was the Mel Brooks high anxiety reference.
Yeah, for those wondering, I just made a Mel Brooks high anxiety reference with Harvey Korman talking with Mel Brooks. Yeah, tears your heart apart.
That's right.
And he says it's insincere.
Yes. Yes. Well, you guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed this. And for those of you who joined us, and for those of you who helped me get over that 3,000, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yay!
Good job.
Now we're on our way to 4,000.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
yes, yeah, 4,000. Here we come. So, as I said earlier, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you go over to Gary Twintero and David Tarot by the Bay to give them a like, share, subscribe. Do the same thing for me. Look into my courses, classes. If you're interested in booking a private reading, all that information is going to be on my website, and all that information is in the description of the video. So go ahead, take a look at that. You guys, we will see you on July 16th. I was really looking forward to that because I thought, well, we'll talk about after the sentencing.
Yeah.
Now we'll have to wait for something fantastic to happen. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will.
July
right,
16th. I come back from Canada on the 15th. So there we go.
Oh, lovely. We're in Canada. Are you going to be back in Ontario?
Yeah, going to visit my friends Mike and Drew over in the St. Catharines, Niagara Falls area.
Oh, nice. I wish it was closer. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Next time, one day you'll come. Hey, this Friday is the start of the Calgary Stampede. So,
How can I miss that?
Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, folks.